All right, guys, welcome back. It's been a while since I did an iOS video, and today I'm going to try to make a video on an iPhone 4. One of my subscribers recommended that I do an iPhone 4 iOS 6 unboxing. But there's not going to be an unboxing today, but I do think I have an iPhone 4, hopefully on iOS 6. So let me get out the stash and let's see what we can find. Here we go. Lots of good stuff in here. Most of it's labeled, so hopefully that makes this a little easier. Here is an iPhone 4S. This is another 4S. What do we have here? 4S bad power button. Okay. What's this one? This is an iPhone 4 iOS 4. That's a special one. What are you? 4S 16 gigabyte. Okay, so we do have an iOS 6 4S. So if we don't find an iPhone 4, at least we got Ooh, maybe. What is this? A1349. I don't know if that's a 4 or 4S. Let's hope this is a 4. And where are you? The last one. Oh. Are you an iPhone 4? Do you have Siri? I think that we got one. No Siri, here we go. Here's an iPhone 4. And so what is this one? You're a 4S. All right, plenty of 4S's. So let's move this out of the way. We can keep these for a cool thumbnail picture for the views. That does look pretty neat when you stack these all together. Okay, here we are. Here is the main event for today. So here we have an iPhone 4 running iOS 6.0.1, and this is actually a 32 gigabyte model. I didn't even see that. So this is not a version you can downgrade to. I believe these can be downgraded to 6.1.3 with a little bit of hassle. But the iPhone 4, as you guys all know, I'm sure, was the first with the Retina display, was the first with a front-facing camera, the first iPhone with a flash and a glass back, and the first to introduce this metal frame that goes around the outside. So the iPhone 4 was launched in 2010, and in 2011 it got iOS 5, and then in 2012 we got iOS 6, which iOS 6 is really a minor update, and we saw, I believe, Newsstand was introduced here. I know Passbook was introduced in iOS 6. And what else? We got Do Not Disturb, and just some more minor features, tweaks, updates. I think Twitter integration. Maybe that was iOS 5. I can't remember. But iOS 6 was a minor update and looked very similar to iOS 5. And the iPhone 4 handled it pretty well. Not as smooth as the iPhone 4S or the iPhone 5, but the iPhone 4, if you were using this on iOS 6, it didn't feel slow at all. Nothing about it was laggy or choppy. It was a very good user experience. Now, in 2013, when we got iOS 7, which was the final release for the iPhone 4, the story was a little different, and iOS 7 really slowed this thing down. I think the biggest limitation is the single core A4 chip that Apple introduced with the iPhone 4. It just can't handle the graphical demands that iOS 7 brought versus the iPhone 4S with its dual core A5, which was a significant improvement on the A4, ran it a lot better. But with that being said, the iPhone 4 was a revolutionary device when it came out, and when Steve Jobs introduced this, it seemed like the future. Like this was the end. If there were no iPhones introduced after this, everyone would have been just fine with that. I mean, this thing really felt like it was and had everything an iPhone could ever need. The Retina display, front and back cameras. It had a 0.5 GB of RAM, which was the most for an iPhone at the time. And I believe that's why it supports iOS 7, whereas the other, for example, the iPad first generation has the exact same processor, which is actually clocked higher than the iPhone version, and it stopped on iOS 5. So this got 2 releases past that original iPad, despite having the same chip. And I think that's got something to do with the 512 megabytes of RAM that this thing had, whereas the iPad only had 1/4 of a gigabyte at 256 megs. So, I hope you've enjoyed this look at an iPhone 4 on iOS 6.0.1. Let me know if you have one of these down in the comments. And actually, look, I must have plugged this into my 2015 MacBook Pro. That's why it's named that. We'll make this iPhone 4 iOS 6.0.1. All right, well, that's been a look at this guy. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which device you want to see next. Odds are I have it. So you can specify the iPhone or iPad or iPod Touch and what version of iOS you're curious about. And odds are I have it, and if I don't, I'm on the lookout for it. So I will eventually do a video. I think my next video is going to be the iOS 7 4S. I forgot I had that one, and that is kind of unique. You don't see many of those. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.